TMNT Shill Review.
Hello everyone, TMNT Right now we're going to be taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Power Rangers crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Morphed Donatello, and Morphed Leonardo. Here is the image right here, complete. Here is this image right here, complete. Here is this on the back. Here is this. Here is this barcode for when these eventually get into stores, hopefully. I got this from, who did I get it from? Hasbro Pulse. And the rest are with BBTS, and that's probably stuck in a container somewhere. Here is this turtle shell image right here on the background inside of the packaging. Also, as you can see, once you pull out the flaps, you get the whole image right there. But this is going in the trash. For anyone who paid attention to this, I put these heads back in there so they are next to the wrong bodies. Just for your knowledge, if you touch the screen, unless YouTube changes it, a chapter list should pop up right here. You had to click the words, and then you can go to which part of this video you want to see. But right now I'm going to say this also. These two things do not come with a set. They are just things I recently reviewed. If you want to see more about them, check my recent uploads. Actually, I'll put a link in the description because Lord knows when you're going to watch this. When it comes to accessories and whatnot and some other features, it finally feels like with this set, Hasbro listened to me, and these are two perfect releases to me, like put together. They're kind of in line with an import style release as far as what you get. Maybe with an import release, you would have like another set of hands and maybe another face with another expression, but for the price point, these are good. Unlike the Transformers crossovers where Hasbro completely makes a character design out of nowhere, these actually were from the Boom Studios comics. I believe they're called Boom Studios. But basically, as you can see, these are incorporating the Black Ranger outfit with the Green Ranger's armor. And luckily for you guys, and luckily for myself, I bought the Walgreens version of the Black Ranger with the dragon armor right there. So you can see it has the same bicep armor, and it has the diamond floating in the front, just like Tommy did when he was the Green Ranger. And just here is the basic Black Ranger for comparison. He doesn't have any of that. Now he does have the diamond chest design, so you need the diamond chest design to be a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. But there you are with that. And while we're here, we can see that the human Power Rangers are taller than the Turtles because the Turtles are shorter characters. So I'm happy to see they kept that consistent. But he ends up being more broad because of the shell and whatnot. And I believe the Turtles have more muscles. So the legs are thicker, the arms are thicker, and the body is more wide underneath of that shell. Here we're going to be taking a close-up on this helmet right here. It's picked out in silver detail, and the helmet is more wide to fit like a turtle head. You can see that this gold paint is nice. It's pretty consistent. Now I don't know if this is gold plastic or if it is paint on top of it, but this right here is definitely paint, and this all of it matches, so that's great. Here's a close-up on the details down here, and you can see the toes right there and that stand port, so it's good. But now let's go straight from that to articulation. The head is on a dumbbell, so it can look up, look down, and then the base of the neck. I've been begging for this for the regular Power Rangers. The base of the neck actually has a ball, so you can rock that forward for articulation. If you rock too far back, trying to be ambitious, because the neck leans about that far forward, that far back, If you push it too far back, you will bump into the shell and it will pop off, but that should be good enough. The shoulders use different type of articulation, sort of the McFarlane style, where it is the McFarlane style. There's a cap cover right here, and there's a post with a ball joint on the end, so it can wiggle around in there for butterfly action. Of course, it can go out that far and rotate almost fully unhindered until you bump into the shell. You get the bicep swivel, pinless, double elbows. The elbow can bend up that much. These particular hands right here have that action right there, and it swivels. It actually has a full diaphragm under there, and the back, as far as I can tell, I could have swore I saw a post in here. I can barely tell with this freaking light. Hold on. Oh, I see it. The back is actually connected to the midsection, but there is a full diaphragm joint at the top. So it can rotate independently of the lower body, but the lower body is also on a ball joint. I did not expect that, and you can rotate. So that helps with posability and somewhat gives it more dynamic posing even with this shell. I've been begging for something like this on other turtles, and Hasbro finally did it, or the Power Ranger team. And of course, if you didn't notice, all this is separate. But import style articulation as far as that. And they have drop down hips. Bruh. This, the legs can go all the way out to the side. They can kick forward this much straight, come back some, you get pinless double knees. Leonardo has the same articulation, so I'm not going to be showing all this twice. You get a swivel right there. The boots kick all the way back as usual with a Hasbro figure. It kicks forward a bit. Now I probably can go past this lump if I want to, so I can force it up. And of course you get ankle pivot. Which means with that ankle pivot and the boot rotation, you should have no problem getting into, and the fact that the boots can kick forward, you should have no problems getting into hunched forward poses that Power Rangers and Turtles get into. Let's show you the accessories. The accessories, the hands just pull out. They seem to have thicker pegs than what I remember with the actual Power Rangers. Now let's do that same pose, but with the martial arts gesture hands. And these hands, instead of the roll of the dice action, they do this and that. So they can bring them up. Now, one thing I will say about the hands seem to be a more duller white than anything else on his body. So I'm not sure how that happened, because it has to be using the same plastic as this. But all the hands have a more duller white, which you can't sell because I have this light shining on it. But it doesn't match with this right here. Or maybe, you know what? Let me put the hand next to this. I think the problem is just the white paint right here does not match the hands. You can tell more in person than right here in my video. And you get two clenched fists for punching and whatnot. And they have the same articulation as the martial arts hands. Because Donatello is the Black Ranger, he gets the power axe right here. And notice that, just like the, let me see if this is the exact same thing. Yeah, they appear to be the exact same as the first, just painted different. Like that has a silver tip, a black grip, and you actually get a gold coin instead of a silver coin. So there you go with that. And it has the same functionality where it can be held as an X, or you can pull this down for the combined weapon. But I don't think you're going to be able to get the combined weapon unless they change Kimberly's bow. I mean, the Pink Ranger's bow staff. The Pink Ranger's April O'Neil this time. And you get an elongated version because Donatello is known for a bow staff. He has two of these. I mean, this is, I guess he can morph his power axe into this longer power staff. This is a different shape. I mean, it's very thin. It's not as thick. And they even added this little blast effect that plugs in like that, so he can hit enemies with that. So isn't that cool? I'm going to start with this because these hands seem to be designed to hold this weapon in particular. Like, it can grip that, and of course you can do double wielding if you want, which you will probably want, since that's how Donnie typically holds his staff. So there you are with that. It has no problem holding that. Now, I don't know about this because this is a thicker grip. It probably will warp the hand. Let me come back. I was able to force the fingers around this gripping point right here and actually put both in there. I can't get the top finger over the trigger because the hands aren't designed like that. So there's that. Now, it wasn't difficult to get this in the hand, but you can't, like, I guess, let me see if I can force it up under the finger. I can. This is made out of a more softer gummy plastic than anything else. So I was able to do that. Now, your mileage may vary, but I put this in his hand directly after removing the power axe, and he's still holding it and gripping it. I see it is shifting around a little bit, but he is still holding it. So there you go with that. There is a cutout right here, so you can store this version of the staff right there, or the power axe. You can't put the other one in there, or maybe you could, but it would definitely warp it. So it's definitely designed for this. Last accessory, the head. The best way to get that off, as you saw, is to push it back until it comes off. And now we can put this Donnie head, which is probably cartoon accurate. I do wish, or comic book accurate, I should say. I do wish they put a different version of his head in there. And let's zoom in a bit. What's that? Looks good. I kind of don't like the wide eyes. It makes him look a little goofy, cartoony. But like I said, it is probably accurate. As you can see the nostrils, which sometimes they don't put that detail on Ninja Turtles. And the goggles, you can see, is a separate sculpted piece attached. And he does have this, which is pliable. So, cool, good. Here's Leonardo. I didn't read the comic, but I can tell you that they picked their colors, or they picked which turtle would be which ranger based upon their typical color scheme. Because Leonardo is blue, or wears blue, Raphael wears red. The closest thing to orange is yellow, so Michelangelo is yellow. And Donatello is Black Ranger because they do not have a purple Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And April is the Pink Ranger because she's a girl. Here are close-ups on his head sculpt right there. I wonder why they gave them individual eyes. It makes them look more evil, like almost like the Shredder's design. And maybe this is painted because it does look to be scuffed right there. Here's his power coin. Same stuff. He has the exact same hands as Donatello, so I'm not going to drive y'all through all that. But here is where he can store his weapons. And they stay in there perfectly. Here's an example pose with something you can do with his other hands. Now, as much as I love they're trying to get import style articulation, until they perfect the upper dumbbell, I wish they would just keep the disc hinge articulation so they can look up and down better on figures. I like change and improvement, trying to get the import style, but typically on each line, depending on the shape of the head, it is difficult to make them like look up to an extent that I like, or have as much motion or range as I would like. Like, if you watch this video, like, because of the shape of her head, she can get a ton of range out of that. I mean, and still, even with this one, she's not looking up that much. Now, I do realize that you have this collar, but yeah, now she's going to be looking weird back there. Unlike Donatello, who has two versions of each weapon, they just went ahead and extended the blades on the power lance to be more sword-like, because Leonardo had swords. I brought up the grip so much because one of my friends, Extra Zero, says that the fingers don't grip onto the weapons, but your mileage will vary on that, because they grip mine perfectly. I mean, you have to like put it into the hand and then shove it up underneath of that bottom finger, at least on mine. But of course, each hand will vary depending on what you buy. I don't know why, but my comparison with these two wasn't filmed. He has a darker color scheme, as you can see on the original Blue Ranger, and they went with a lighter blue with Leonardo. When I showed that comparison earlier, the Black Ranger was like a lot taller than what I'm seeing right here. So let me raise this up a bit. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, they're still taller than the Turtles, but it doesn't seem like as big of a height difference to me. And let me make sure that Donatello and Leo are different heights. Let me make sure I have the legs in the same position. Yeah, they're the exact same height. But in that earlier comparison, the Black Rangers looked way taller than Donatello. But to let you see this, the power lance can connect. The original Blue Ranger didn't do that. He just has 3 separate weapons. So this is what this comes out to be when you combine it together. He has this lightning effect right there, but only one. It would have been cool if he had 2. And of course, the head pops off the same way. And with he looks more traditionally like what you would see. It's like a cross between the movie head sculpts and the cartoon. So there you are. Let's see how far you can look up. His neck seems to go back more than Donnie. But there you are, that. He's more serious and angry. But there you are. End of the day, I feel like this is pretty much a perfect set. I mean, their articulation is above and beyond. Like, it's almost, it has some hindrances, but it's almost better than the basic Power Rangers. I mean, of course, they can't get as dynamic in the torso area because they have all that, they have an armored chest. So even if they could bend, it probably wouldn't look that well, or wouldn't look that good unless they overlapped the top layer of the chest. The actual pectoral area was like cut out. Maybe it could be more dynamic, but I don't know. I haven't seen that yet in a Ninja Turtles figure. You get all the accessories that you basically need. This is what I always ask for: 2 fists, some gesture hands, and some grabbing hands. So, yeah, unless they are known for grabbing things. I like the fact that the power lance can combine, and it is a good connection. I like that you can store the weapons and whatnot, and they look good. So minimal complaints, I can suggest this set. I like it. Thank you for watching this. Until next time, TMNT out of here. And the reason why...
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really